New Year. You know how we do, baby. I'm back with another fantasy video. Yo, it's 2023. If you ain't right, if you ain't in the limelight, if you ain't shining bright, put on your headlights. Yo, I came, I saw, I took what's mine and take some more. Yo, I've been on a fantasy video in about almost a month, my guys, and honestly, it's my fault. Um, it is my fault, but it's not. I made the videos, but they wouldn't export for some reason. Cause I got an adapter, and I think the adapter, there's something wrong with the adapter. So whenever I use that adapter, nothing works. So now I'm trying to see if whether it is the adapter or whether it's literally just something that I'm doing that I don't know that I'm doing. So let's see if this video actually works. If not, then it's me and not the adapter. But yo, we're bringing it back all the way to matchup 9. I told you, my guys, that I will defeat Malik. I told you, everyone thought like I was just chatting. That, oh, I'm just a hater. I'm just chatting. Da 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 da. I told you guys I was gonna beat this guy. Like, my team's not the best form it can be, but one thing I do know is that I am not losing to Malik. That's one thing I do know. I'm not losing to Malik. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, now I don't care no more. The reason why I wanted to beat Malik is because I don't want what happened to Daniel to happen to me. When someone that's not meant to beat me inside the playoffs, because they tie with me, they beat me. I don't want that to happen. I know I'm going to finish with a better record. He's not even going to make playoffs. So it's like, it's good over on this side. Beating Malik, I conquered half of Ghana. They didn't even put up much of a fight. It wasn't much of a fight. Like, the assist wasn't close. The 3 pointers, I thought it would be closer because, you know what I mean? He always loses percentages. Like, he always loses percentages. So I just needed my team to just wake up. My team went crazy in steals. He has Jaren Jackson, so I knew that blocks I wasn't going to win. Double doubles I wasn't expecting to win. And the points were really tight. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, I must be doing something right. Because my record is now 6-5 and he's is 3-7. So it's either every time I talk, I'm right, or every time he talks, he's right. It's one or the other. But my record is showing that what I'm saying is true. It's true. It's true. And I feel like I always bring it back to this. Yeah, I just feel like if you didn't trade Luka Doncic, I don't think your record is 3-7. But we don't want to talk about that, do we? Everyone wants to tip or toe around it, but we don't want to talk about that. The hard facts is that in our fantasy history, that is probably that no, not probably that is the worst trade in fantasy history. Now that I look back at the trade, Chris done one to David as well. He done one to David as well. But like at the end of the day, like I have two things to say in this fantasy. I have the best team, and Malik isn't making playoffs. So far, one of them is remaining constant. The other one is still working on the linear progression. You know what I'm trying to say? ESPN starts versus Broken Free win. Um, ESPN's been having major injury difficulties, so this matchup was not competitive at all, right? Roman Empire versus Germany Prince, right? This is my problem with with this stuff. Yeah, this is my problem. So there's top 3 teams, right? So we made our top 3 video at the beginning of fantasy, top 3 video, and it actually made sense because we did it based on the draft and who has the best team, and and honestly, I felt like we were all pretty like spot on with our analysis of the top 3 teams. But my issue, yeah, is this is my issue now. My issue now is that um the guys at the top, I believe that they believe that their teams are at a level that they're just simply not at. And it's like they're just simply not at that level. And how do I explain it? They're not at that level, but the way they are talking is as if they are at that level. And that's what I say. I won't include Chris in it, but I'll definitely say David and Charlie. You see, over on this side, we just talk how it is. We just linear. We don't hit no passive aggressive. Nah, we just say how it is. I definitely feel like David and Charlie believe that their team is better than what it actually is. And I'm not just saying it because of feelings, but I'm just saying it based on what I'm seeing. For example, um, David only won this matchup by 10 points. So, David, you're tied number one seed, right? Playing up against someone that I don't even think is inside a playoff position, right? So, this is someone that isn't actually making playoffs thus far, right? He isn't actually making playoffs thus far. So, you're playing against that person, or maybe he's like 8th seed, but yet it literally comes down to the last game. The last game. Like you win by like the skin of your teeth, 10 points. So for me, it's like this, right? When I'm looking at someone that's really, really good, like a dominant record that's really good, it's like against teams like Glory who are not at the top, it's almost a bye week. I lost the Glory, right? I lost the Glory by a couple points or whatever it was. But my team is not seen in that tier list, so it doesn't matter. But your team is seen in that tier list, but you're only winning by like the last game and 10 points. And for me, it's like, if I'm Glory, I'm just like, I'm looking at what I did in that week, and I'm just like, yo, I can actually beat this guy. Like, where Wagwan, you know what I mean? Larry played against Chris, tough matchup, and he came up with the W. Came with the W, and I don't. Chris was saying that Larry's team was. He knew that this week wasn't going to be an easy week for him. He knew it. And he gave Larry the respect. And that's the difference in the tier list. I believe that the top three guys thus far, I feel like Chris gives the most respect. I feel like David talks as if we all haven't gone to school and done reading comprehension tests, and he thinks that his English works. Like this guy was saying that, telling Chris that he's gonna win, that his team's not good enough, that this and that. Then on Sunday, on Christmas Day, this guy leaves all his players on the bench because he knew he was gonna win. Like, make that make sense. Like, make that make sense, bro. Charlie played against Daniel. Daniel's team was inside rebuilding mode at this point, so I'm not even gonna count the W like that. I'm not gonna count the W like that. But it was pretty much an easy win for Charlie. You know what I mean? This was when Anthony Davis was still alive and still playing basketball. True North Vision defeated Cornelius. And yeah. Moving on. I don't want to spend too much time because but yeah. Moving on. So I conquered East Germany. I conquered East Ghana. So now I'm going to the West. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna say this here. After this matchup, I kind of was disappointed in Charlie because at the beginning, I was doing my thing. Like, I don't care if I'm winning or losing, I'm still gonna keep the same energy. I'm still gonna keep the same energy. Like, I don't feel like because I've lost, I should now be salty. I should now cry. I should now, like, I'm gonna keep the same energy because at the end of the day, that's what real respect is. When even if you win or lose, you still keep the same energy because you know what I mean. And I just feel like I beat him, and here I'm here reading about injuries, my guy. I'm reading about injuries, and I'm just like, bro, you really gonna out here talk about Harrison Barnes did in fact play, but Zion Williamson, everyone knows Zion Williamson barely plays a full week of basketball. Jimmy Butler is a part-time basketball player. So at the end of the day, like, you really didn't have any excuse as to I had players injured. Let's be real. You know what I mean? And then Anthony Davis is like, even if he is injured, like, you drafted him. It's not a surprise. Like, it's not a surprise. Like, I had Stephen Curry injured. I didn't care. I didn't care. I made the adjustments and I won the matchup. And I won the matchup. And the thing is that the way the matchup went, right? I won 6-3. If you did have Anthony Davis, right? The one thing you're beating me at, the things that you beat me at, the only thing that I beat you at that you probably would have beat me at is double double. But if I had my Stephen Curry, you had your Davis, I'm still beating you with 3 pointers. My free throw percentage is definitely higher than 0.7455. Yours may even go lower. You're definitely beating me in rebounds. I'm definitely beating you in assists. I'm beating you in steals because AD is not. You're beating me in blocks. You beat me in double doubles, and I'm gonna get more points because Kyrie gets insane amount of points. So it's like this whole injury narrative is like I've had. Cornelius has had a very unhealthy team. I've had a very unhealthy team as well. LaMelo was gone. I made a trade for LaMelo. He gone, came back, was gone. Curry has been gone for a month. Who else has been gone? Garland is gone right now. So I've had injuries. Every single one of us have had injuries. Nowadays in fantasy, there's specific people that don't talk about injuries because it's like injuries is part of fantasy. Injuries is what makes fantasy interesting because you know that if Curry gets injured, like look at Daniel Loki's team right now. Curry got injured. The first thing he did is pick up Dante DiVincenzo. Why? Because Curry's 38 to 42 minutes as game is now going to be divided up. And people are going to get those minutes. So that means that someone that was before on the bench getting 10 points has the potential to play 30 minutes and get 20 points. So you pick them up. So injuries aren't even a thing anymore. And I was just like, yo, hang on a minute. You're number one seed, my guy. Like, you're number one seed. And at this point, I didn't even have I was below 500. This win made me 500. I was below 500, and this is why I'm so confused about this tier list that they have suddenly made because it's like I'm below 500, bro. Right? You are the top seed. Even if you do have one major guy that's injured, you shouldn't be losing to me. Like, you shouldn't actually be losing to me. You shouldn't be losing to me because if you're the top and I'm at the bottom, there's a huge margin, there's a huge gap between us, and you shouldn't in fact be losing. So I was just like, yo, Malik did the same thing to me too. I beat him. He leaves the group chat. He don't even say GG until what? Tuesday, Wednesday? Like, come on, my guy. Like, and that's what I'm trying to say, my guy. Like, but it's all good over here. Like, at the end of the day, I am Ghana. I own Ghana. I have enslaved Ghana. Ghana's under my rule, my jurisdiction. I own Ghana because what Charlie only lost to one other person, and he's lost to me now. So I told you guys I have the best team, and I beat the person that believes he has the best team. So if I beat him, that means I have the best team. I literally have the best team. Mariano should have lost this matchup. I don't know how this double double right here. That's what saved him. David versus Chris, man. I want to play David so bad, but I want to play David when Stephen Curry's back. But I don't think Stephen Curry's gonna be back next week. But it's all good. I want to play David because I don't really understand his team. But all I know is that Jokic and Sabonis are playing out of his mind, and this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Um, in the chat there was a little spat between me and Malik about respect and disrespect. Yeah, there was a little spat, and this right here, this matchup right here, yeah. If you want to talk about respect and disrespect, let's apply it to this. So these are the top three seeds. Like 8-2-1, 8-3-0. You know what I'm trying to say? And Charlie's 8-2-1. So these are the top three guys. So you're playing against the other top guy, right? And it's the last matchup of the season. Respect would be that, yo, I'm playing my guys. Respect would be I'm playing my guys. You know what I'm trying to say? I respect you. I respect your team. I'm playing my guys. You know what I'm trying to say? But disrespect would be like I'm not playing my guys. It's like, it's like you slap someone. It's like a slap in the face, or like when someone's walking, you spit where they're about to walk. You know what I mean? That's what you call this. That's actual disrespect. That's actual disrespect. And I don't mean it in a way like, oh, it's deep, 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 like I just mean it's disrespect. Because as competitors, it's like it's like you're playing a game, right? You want to play against the other person's best. You don't want them to be like, oh, da 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 da. You don't want any excuses. You want to be like, yo, if I'm top man, you're top man. Let's both give each other that respect and both play all our players and both da 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 da. You know what I'm trying to say? That's respect. The disrespect is when you start doing the funky stuff. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, Chris' team is not a joke. He has an 8-2 record. He's second in the East. So his team is already respected. He's done the work to get that respect. So there's no need to disrespect. But that's if we want to talk about the disrespect and all of that. Larry done what Larry done, defeated Malik. And my thing with Malik is I'm really concerned. I don't know where he's going to get his next win. I don't know how he's going to get the next win, where it's coming from. I don't see it in the near future. Like, I looked at his schedule. He played me last. He's played Larry. He's lost. I think I don't think he won last week either. I'm concerned because like I don't know when he's getting his next win. I really don't know, and it's like we're getting halfway to the season, and it's like, bruh, if you don't figure it out now, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. But yeah, this matchup was close. Literally one it was close, man. This matchup was it close? I mean, the field goal percentage was close. Yeah, and that's it. Oh, 9 rebounds. So basically, Rudy Gobert made Cornelius lose this matchup. Rudy Gobert is absolutely rubbish, but whatever. And then Frankie beat Daniel. And wait, what matchup we in now? 11. Dang, I missed that much weeks. Okay, this was last week. So this was last week, right? So this was last week. Then I'm gonna go into this week and look at the standings, right? So I played against Cornelius, and even though I won 6-3, it was actually a hard matchup because I just feel like his team just needs to get healthy. He needs to make a trade and then just make a sprint to playoffs. Like if he just goes, like Cornelius literally just needs to just do 4 wins in a row. 4 wins in a row and he's straight. 4 or 3 wins in a row and he's straight. But the reason why I say that is because the other people he's contending with, Malik, Glory, and Daniel O, they're not winning consistently. So if one of them just hits like a 3-game win streak, it's, you know what I mean? That's what it is. And then this is what I'm saying, yeah. This goes back to my respect conversation. Mariano's second in the West. Chris is also second in the East. Chris had Mariano beat from about Monday or Tuesday. It was 9-0, right? But as a competitor, he didn't take off all his players. He left them on, and he gave Mariano the L. The L that Mariano was going to receive, he received it in full. He didn't say, oh, because I've already won. He gave it to him. You know what I'm trying to say? And Mariano took it like a man. At the end of the day, this is fantasy, my guys. But that's if we're gonna talk about respect. Me, I don't personally care. But it's like when you wanna start putting in all these useless, because me, I'm very on the right. So a lot of things I don't really care about. Like all of this sensitive talk, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's like you can't be advocate. You can't be an advocator for respect and also be disrespectful. Could make sense. It doesn't make sense, bruv. It don't make sense. But you see what I'm trying to say? 9-0. This is the stuff I want to see. This is the stuff I want to see. Like when you want to talk to me about tier list, this is a tier list. Chris is at the top. Mariano isn't at the top. So Chris was like, "Oh, little boy, you wanna come? You wanna hang with the big boys, right?" And Chris was like, "Nah, you still got a lot more to learn. It's like settle down. You still got a lot more to learn." Then Mariano said, "Yes, yes, daddy." Oh, but moving on, yeah. Malik, you need to trade, bro. You need to trade. Bless me. I say this with love, tranquility, clairvoyance, with the pure and gentleness in my heart. You need a trade. Like you need a trade because you put up seasonal high numbers, managerial high numbers, and you still didn't win this week. You still didn't win this week. You still didn't win. Like you put up like managerial numbers, bro. Like I feel like you play against any other person, maybe not Chris, and you win. But you still didn't win. You still came up short. You did everything. Bless me. You did everything you could and it still wasn't enough. That's like going to talk to the seer and the seer's like you are destined to win. You still don't win. You still don't win. You still don't win. And it's like I want you guys to see this, yeah. You have lost this category like from the beginning of this video to this point right now. You've lost this category every single matchup. But if I talk, yeah, you man will say Collins this, Collins that, Collins Blick, Collins Black, Collins hairline's going way back, right? I said this from the ranking video. This guy is going to lose 4 categories standardly every single week, and that's going to be his downfall. I said it. 4 categories standardly every single week. And bruv, you lose these 2 categories. Like everyone knows that whether they like it or not, like everyone knows they're gonna win those 2 categories against you. So you're already down like 0-0-2, like no 0-2. You're already down 0-2 every single matchup because you're going to lose these categories. Like it's just standard for you. Like you're already down. So like you can put up all of these season high, managerial high, and career high statistics in your managerial career, but you like it's still gonna be hard for you to win. And that's what I'm saying. When is your next win? I'm concerned. I'm deeply concerned what your next win is. I'm deeply concerned because it's like these stats you put up, I can't respect them because you didn't win. It's like this, right? It's like when Usain Bolt was winning the 100 meters of breaking world records, everyone forgets that Johan Blake was also breaking world records too. But guess what? No one really cares about Johan Blake, do they? Want to know why? Because he's not Usain Bolt. He didn't win the gold medal. And it's like if Johan Blake was born even just 3 years earlier and went to one Olympics before Usain Bolt and got a gold medal winning that world record, people will still talk of his name beside Usain, or even like this and give him more respect. But the fact that he was running with Usain Bolt and his best times were running against Usain Bolt, no one really focuses on Johan Blake. So like, yo, when are we gonna get some trades going on, bro? When? Because you can't put these numbers up and not win. And not win. And then moving forward to Charlie, it's like this is why I'm so confused about you man's tier list. Yeah. You have the number one in the East and number one in the West playing against the fifth seeds, right? So Larry is in fact in playoff position. Malik isn't. But you both can't beat these guys. Why? Like, why? I really don't understand it. And Charlie, you won by a blessing. Like, for for two people to tie on points, the probability is just insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. And you've done that. Like, if you want to talk about luck, that is luck, bro. I don't care what anyone says. That is literally luck. Like, you got the one block from Bruce Brown, and then you got the tying point. Like, that is absolute luck. Like, not in a bad way, but like luck in a good way. And it's like, Larry wasn't even meant to beat you though. But you didn't beat him, you drew him by luck. And I feel like Larry got hard done by. He really did. He really did. And this is why, like, I just feel like when I talk about the standings, I'm gonna reveal who my real tier list is, because I just feel like if your team is really really good, I don't care about this record right here. I don't care about that, because this guy is beating number 2-9-0. Yeah, he lost to Larry, but clearly the tier list isn't really right if Chris couldn't beat Larry, Charlie couldn't beat Larry, but yet ESPN versus King Kazuri, that's how I say. Daniel 6-5, third in the West, Ben against 4-6, third in the East. Devin Booker's out for like 5 weeks. Um, Charlie's got a whole injury pile, bro. I mean, I said Charlie Frankie. He's got a whole injury pile, and he won't trade with anyone. He won't. Like, he won't. I've seen this guy face to face. I've tried everything. He's not gonna trade with anyone. The only time he's not gonna, if he does trade, it's because it's like 3 weeks to the playoffs and he needs to win for 3 games in a row so he makes playoffs. That's it. Other than that, he's not gonna trade. So he's gonna keep having the ups and downs until his team's fully injured. But he did bring something to light. The one time his team was healthy, he beat David. So he beat David. Or was it Charlie? He beat one of them. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, this tier list, I have my own personal tier list. I know which teams, like, I know which teams that when I'm healthy, I eat certain teams. Like, when I'm healthy, I eat certain teams. And I'm not scared of them. But I'm more scared of playing Frankie than I am of playing Charlie. Like, I'm talking about when teams are healthy. And I'm more scared of, I'm being serious, man. I am. Because I feel like Frankie's team is just, it's really, really good. And in Germany, Prince, I feel like Glory could have a successful campaign this season. Is just certain little things, if he just fixes, he can actually have a certain fantasy campaign. Now we getting into the new year. Dang, man. Woo. Dang. Let me take a sip of my tea. Dang, I'm running out of stamina, man. King Azuri versus Beast of No Nation. Both have the same record, 6-5. I like the run. I think I'm 3 wins in a row. I think he's 2 wins in a row right now. I like the record we have. I want us both to prosper, because it's like, the reason why I like the record we have now is because we're going on a little run where it's like, I really wanted Larry to win too, because all three of us were going on a run where it's like we were separating ourselves from like the guys below, so it left margin for error, right? So now playing against Daniel, and one of us is gonna win, one of us is gonna lose. There's no drawing, and I already said GG, man. Um, is it box score that I need to press on? I already said GG because it's like when Donovan Mitchell scores 71 points, I think Klay Thompson scores, I think, 36 or 39. So when two people combine for 100 points in one game night, um, you just you just understand that like this one is out of your control. This one's out of your control. And I feel like this was the point we were trying to make with the Luka Doncic type of players, with the Stephen Curry type of players. With those type of players, was like it's not like they're amazing players. That's why they're the stars on the fantasy player team. Even the Joel Embiid. But the main difference between a Luka Doncic and a Siakam is that Siakam is not dropping you 60 points. And if he is dropping you 60 points, it's his career high. You know what I mean? Luka Doncic has had, I think, a couple 50-point games, multiple 40-point games, and a 60-point triple double game. Siakam's not getting you a 60-point triple double game. You know what I mean? Respectfully, Klay Thompson is not getting you a 60-point triple double game. Like, there's levels to this, and it's like when people talk about this, it's almost like they're talking gibberish or speaking French or Spanish, bruv. When everyone knows, like, holy smokes, Klay Thompson 54. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, that's old Klay Thompson type of vibes. That's literally old. That's throwback Klay Thompson. He put his throwback jersey on. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is why you don't trade certain players. Like LeBron on his birthday, what he did was incredible. Like incredible. Incredible. But this is why certain players you don't trade for. Because their output, yes, they have the 20-point games. But guess what? They have the 20-point games more consistently. They have the 10 assists more consistently. The 10 rebounds more consistently. But guess what? They also know that, okay, they can take over the game and drop you 34, 35, or even a 40 piece. That's why there's a hierarchy, bro. That's why there's a hierarchy, bro. But it's like, when we want to talk about these stuff, it's like, people start acting like, what? And I've been doing fantasy for a while now. And I realized something that everyone that played basketball, it's like, they struggle so hard with fantasy. They struggle hard with fantasy. And I want to know why they struggle hard with fantasy. Because it's the guys that don't actually play basketball. It seems like they have I don't know if it's a better understanding, but they understand like the categories. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but it's weird, bro. Because like certain conversations, it's like, why are we still having these conversations, bro? But yeah, like this game was stupid. I don't believe I'm gonna win this week because it just don't make sense anymore, man. It don't make sense. I don't know when my Curry's back. Like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't know when he's back, bro. But if Curry don't come back I don't think he's coming back this week. But I don't think I'm gonna win this week. If I'm being 10 toes, Garland hasn't played. Royce O'Neal, big factor in my team, ain't played, and it's still a long week. But for me to catch up in points, it's gonna be a huge one. The double doubles, I could possibly still come back. Steals, fair game. Assist is usually my category, but he has a nice margin. Rebounds is not really mine. 3-pointers made. Daniel's team is good at 3-pointers, and the percentages, the only one I could steal is the free throw. So it's still a long week, but I'm really gonna have to use my brain to try and get this W, and that's just me being realistic. You know what I mean? Vancouver Grizzlies versus Edmonton. What is it? Edmonton Mafia. This is my point. 3-7 versus 8-2. Yeah, and Malik should win this. Based off last week's numbers, he should win the points. Double doubles, he should get a high number. Blocks, he does have good block guys. The assist, he should win. Rebounds, he should win, or it should be tight. Malik can beat Charlie. He really can. It's not impossible. His team is just really weird, bro. Cause like my problem with Malik's team is like, what's John Morant? Okay, so John Morant does get you the fight. Wow, he actually got more than 15 assists in the game. So John Morant does get you those 30 points, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. But I feel like my problem with Malik's team is like, and this is why I'm not really scared of Charlie's team as well. Like I'm not, cause I have Steph Curry that could drop like 8 3 pointers in the game and like 50 points. The only person that can get that 50 points is mostly Anthony Davis. Kyrie hasn't really shown recently that he's about to drop a big game. Bam Adebayo, like he doesn't really go to the 40, 50 range. Zion ain't doing it, Jimmy ain't doing it. That's why I'm not really scared of Charlie's team. No Malik's team. They don't have guys that I believe will go like 8 3 pointers, 60 points, like, and if Ja does have it, it's like out of the blue moon. And that's why like in the playoffs I would want to play against one of these guys because it's like I know that I have more guys that can drop those insane numbers than they do. And that's just a fact. And that's why in playoffs I don't want to play against Chris in the first round. Because he has a guy like Embiid that can grab 40 points, 20 rebounds, 4 5 blocks. Anthony Davis does have the potential to do that. But the thing is that he's a part-time basketball player. So that's another thing. I want to be in a position to play Charlie end of the season because he has a lot of part-time NBA players. Like Zion's part-time, Butler's part-time, and Anthony Davis is part-time. So half of his best players are part-time basketball players. So anyone that plays Charlie end of the season, you have a very, very wonderful chance of advancing through the next round because he has a lot of part-time NBA basketball players, right? Malik's team is it's a good balanced team. But do you have that guy that will win you the matchup? Like last week, Luka Doncic dropped 60 20, 20 rebounds. You don't have that guy that's going to do that and win you the matchup. You know what I'm trying to say? The Walker Derby Part 2. Um, I just hope Cornelius' team is healthy. Andrew Wiggins is the next person back. So most of the guys are here. I feel like Gobert has to go. But most of the guys are here, so we should see a drastic improvement. Chris's team, man, Kawhi Leonard. I feel like Kawhi Leonard is one of the best guys in fantasy. Guy's insanely efficient because he plays once every 2 games. And it's just a wonderful thing. I'm happy that he has him. I think Chris's team is really, really nice because he has Doncic that will get you those stupid games, and he has Embiid to get you the stupid games. So it's like, but he does have Fred VanVleet injured, which is a big guy on his team. But he played, but he didn't actually put him on. But he didn't do anything, and he actually shot really bad. So I think it was actually a blessing. So yeah, but yeah, this matchup here, I feel like Glory has a weird team. Dang, I'm tired. Glory has a weird team because it's like, don't go back. He has really, really good average players, but I do feel like he needs to go out and try and get that big guy. He needs to try and get like a really, really good star player, in my opinion. And I feel like that's gonna take his team over the hump. Like Frankie has Devin Booker, Kelly. I mean, Devin Booker's the only real guy. Kelly's alright. RJ's trash. So he shouldn't actually be losing anymore. There shouldn't actually be like a clear excuse. Roman Empire versus Broken Freak win. Um, this matchup should be interesting. It should be interesting. Um, who does Mariano have in? Oof. Mariano's team is good. It's just Chris Middleton and Carthy Towns is hurt, man, and those are two big players in his team. Um, with the guys he does have, it's going to be hard. I feel like Terry Rozier is. It's like I don't know. I feel like Davis should be able to pull off the win simply because he has this. I don't know what this guy's on and Jokic. But the thing is, if KD has a really really consistent week and Westbrook pulls these numbers up, I think KD can man this to the finish line. I feel like Mariano can man it to the finish line. I feel like he could. He needs. I feel like he could. I don't know how, but he could try and man it to the finish line. But KD needs to like have a really really good week for Mariano. Um, this I have Larry winning this week, but Daniel O's team put up 306 rebounds, which is I think season best in this fantasy. Atacama's on the IR. It's gonna be a nice week. It's gonna be a nice week. But let me talk about the standings. Ah, yeah. You see right this year, my shoulder's done. So when I raise my shoulder like this, so painful. But I these are currently the standings, right? So thus far, because of the records, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because 4 guys don't make playoffs. So because the West, we always knew the West was better than the East, right? The West have 5 guys, right? That's what I'm saying. If Cornelius just goes on a run, all he just needs is to go on a run. Literally just go on a run. And he's right there. Like literally right there. The playoffs is 1 to 8 or is it 1 to 16? Yeah, it's 1 to 8. That's the playoffs, man. And our fantasy is getting more and more competitive. I don't want to play against Chris first round. I do want Charlie first round. I wouldn't mind Charlie first round. But I don't want to play against Chris first round. And that's what I'm trying to say, like, I don't know why these guys aren't trading. We need some trades. Because at the end of the day, it's like it's now or never. It's now or never. Like no one's gonna give you this fantasy for free. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna give you this fantasy for free. No one is gonna like help you win or anything. Like it's literally now or never. And I'm surprised by the lack of urgency for certain players to get their teams like the trades they need to win. I'm deeply surprised by the lack of urgency. Alright, I find it rather disturbing, if that makes sense. I find it rather disturbing that certain people aren't urgent enough to make the trades. You know what I mean? Because it absolutely does not make any sense as to why certain people are not asking certain people for trades or throwing like for example, I have how much people do I have? I'm not receiving trade offers. We are now in week 11 or week 12, matchup 12, right? Some of you have 3-7 records, right? You know what that means? No, let me tell you what it means. It means you need 3 wins in a row to even come to par with me. And I need to lose 3 weeks I'm not losing 3 weeks in a row. But yet you somehow magically think that this is how I see it. I see it as you're sitting on a high horse. It's like you have an entitlement that you're going to make playoffs, but you're not. Your mindset, Glory, your mindset, you man's mindset should be like, how do I destroy these man's teams so that I can make playoffs? But you man are not thinking like that. And it's rather concerning how you're not thinking like that. It's like you're letting these men just run off with it. You're letting them run off with it. Why are you not sending trades? Why are you not talking more stuff? Like, why? Like, I don't understand humanity anymore. I don't understand humanity anymore because I know that when my record wasn't 500, I was sending trades daily. I was sending trades daily. I was looking at my team. I was saying how can I configure this team? What next trade can I do to get my team just a little bit better? But it's not like that, bruv. Like, and I really don't understand what's going on. I don't really understand the psychology. You're saying, oh, my team's really good right now. My team's really hot. When my team hits it, your team ain't hitting nothing. Wanna know why? You ain't in playoffs. And the funny thing about it is that we are now 0.545. Larry's 500, right? So for you to even be on the same, because you have 6 losses, right? He only has 5. So for you to be on the same level as Larry, you need Larry to win for two. You need Larry to lose just 2 weeks in a row, and you somehow have to win 2. You can't win 2 weeks in a row. Your record says that you lose more than you win, but somehow you believe that you're gonna win 2 weeks in a row, despite your win loss ratio not even being 2-1. It's actually the reverse. You have 1-2. So, but you are magically going to, with the team that has you 3-7, 3-6, 2-8. You man think that you are going to get 2 wins in a row against who? How? 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 Like someone explain it, my guy. I need someone to explain it. I need someone to explain it. Please, someone explain it. These guys' records is they have a 6-1 ratio. Basically, every 4 games they win, they lose one. 4-1 ratio. Mariano has a 2-1 ratio. I'm not counting the ties, by the way. But you man, with your your reverse ratios, think that you're gonna win. That yeah, my team's good right now. Your team is not good right now. You're losing. You're losing. You are losing. You're losing. You are losing. 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 You're actually losing. But it's like let's see this, right. Alright, so out of all the guys that are losing, Malik is the guy that's made the most. He's made the second most moves. So whatever moves Malik you are making is wrong. Bring back Matthew. Yo, Matthew, what's good? Malik needs help. Yeah, serious help, brother. Serious help. Bring back Matthew. Just bring him back. Because what you need to understand, Malik, is that when Matthew was with you, yes, you made it to the finals. Yes, yes, yes. But Matthew keeps you grounded. Without Matthew, you're like this, bruv. I'm keeping it 10 toes with you. Bring him back. Demote yourself to assistant manager. Make him manager. Any decision you want to make, run it through Matthew. Run it through Matthew. I'm being serious, bruv. I'm not even saying this this is me giving you the best respect I possibly can. Bring him back. Because Matthew keeps you grounded. Whether you want to admit it or not, he keeps you grounded and he helps you see things from a different point of view so that you man, because you have someone to bounce off privately before you make your decisions. Right now, I feel like you're just making the decisions. Like you gave me Kyle Lowry for Chris. I gave you Kyle Lowry for Chris Paul. Why would you do that? Why? Why would you give me Chris Paul for Kyle Lowry? Why? That's why you need to bring back Matthew. Matthew's not giving me Chris Paul for Kyle Lowry. Trust me, he's not. That's what you need to do. Bring back Matthew. That's it. Because we need this to be more competitive. We need this to be more competitive, man. I'm saying you this. It's not competitive right now. It's not. But let me tell you something. It is getting competitive though. Because in the West, over on this side, David is literally like 2 slip-ups from being back in the bunch. Even 1 slip-up. I'm like, this is what I'm trying to tell you, man, about your tier list. He has 8 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. Mariano has 6 wins, 3 losses, 2. Daniel is 6-5. I'm 6-5. Larry's 5-5. David is playing Mariano this week. If David ties with Mariano, he is still 8-2. If me or Daniel win, we have 7 wins and 5 losses, which means that David goes from being on this magical pyramid tier list to being on the same level as us, man, that can't be in the same conversation as them. I want you guys to deep that for a second. If any of you, man, in your tier list decide to tie or lose, me, Daniel, and Mariano are 1 win away from your magical tier list. This magic carpet that you, man, are flying on, yeah, we about to get one. We about to get one. Then we're gonna say what's up. But guess what? Over on this side, we humble with it. Yeah. We keep it nice and smooth. We humble with it. You know what I'm trying to say? So I just want you guys to look at this carefully, brothers. Look at it carefully. You, man, there's no longer a significant difference. It's no longer there. Charlie, you lose one game, I win a game, Daniel wins a game, Mariano wins a game. We're literally right behind you. Like bumper to bumper, bruv. Same with you, Chris. Like it's bumper to bumper. So like the gap that was there before, it's no longer there. It's no longer there. Like it's like in the Premier League. If you have a 6 point gap, you think that's a gap? You think that's a gap? You lose one game, it's 3 points. Now the leverage that you formerly have, you don't really have it no more. Now the pressure's in fact on you. There's no pressure on us. Why? Because no one thinks anything of our team, so we chilling over on this side. But let's look at the power rankings. So this was the week Anthony Davis went crazy, you know. I just want to show you guys the progression. So Larry starts off in 10, moves up 2 places. I think we need to make a number 15 and 16 for Mariano. I mean for Malik and for Daniel. I don't know how Glory's still in 8th, but yeah, 151 points, 52 rebounds, 13 blocks in a week. That's crazy, right? Bang. So now, next season went from 10, he jumped all the way to 7th. Respect, my guy. You know what I mean? Now, there has been increase in blue, right? Chris disrespected himself, put himself down. Luka Doncic done this in a week, bro. He done 5 people's stats in a week. 5 people's stats inside a week. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like we should be both like orange or something, Chris. But yeah, Larry went from 10 to 7. You know what I'm trying to say? Bang. And then what? He's from 10 to 7. He's still 10. That's still. And bang, bro. This is just crazy numbers. And then now they're all tied again. Because they all had the same record. And then LeBron James is back. Wait, Larry went down, bro. Oh wait, maybe this is a previous week. Nah. Yeah, this has to be a previous week. Or maybe no, I think Chris lost to Larry this. Chris is just messing with Larry, bro. But yo, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the power rankings, man. Huge respect to Mariano. Just coming to the fantasy and he's been solid, bro. He's absolutely been solid and huge respect. But me and Daniel, like, we're seasoned veterans, right? So we just do the small things and I'm telling you guys, yeah, in 2 weeks, no, 3 weeks, I'm excited to see the rankings. I'm excited to see the rankings because I know it's gonna be very, very, very different. Very, very, very different. But yeah. Here are the weekly stats for last week. That I try to say. Take this in. I'm gonna leave this. This is the last. I'm not talking about this. This is all I'm gonna say. Malik, Daniel, or Glory. Yeah. Look at this. Eat it. Take it personal. I don't care if you have the most screens. I don't care. Use this chart. Now send every single person 1-1 trade. 1-1-1-1 trade. 1-1 trade. Look at this chart. Send every person 1-1 trade. Look at me. I didn't have a lot of group, but I still won. I still won. I still won. You know what I mean? Look, look. But guess what? You lost. I won. Levels. Take that. Take it personal. Yes. Now make a trade to one person. Because it's not working. But it's King Colin Walker. You know how we do, baby.